Chris Walker, Emergency Health Coordinator with the Hamilton County Health Department, joins us again this week. Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Big day tomorrow. We've got the FDA reviewing Pfizer's vaccine for emergency use for kids 5 to 11. Tell us what we should expect tomorrow.
Yep, that's right. So we expect to hear that the FDA will approve it. However, that is just one more step in the process to actual implementation. Next step will be off to the CDC to uh, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, which will give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down, which then it's off to Indiana Department of Health to approve. And then once that's done, then we start possibly giving the vaccine at that time. One of the things that we've heard is that the dosing is different, and therefore they are doing different packaging, which is all backside logistical information. But that's part of that whole thing where we talk about, all the steps we take to mitigate risk for everybody to help keep everyone safe, right down to making things look different physically for us to ensure that the right person is getting what they need.
So in an ideal world, how soon could you guys start administering the vaccine to the kids?
I've heard as early as late next week or the week before, the week after, but it just depends on how quickly it gets through CDC to Indiana Department of Health. Indiana Department of Health has been pretty darn fast lately trying to approve whatever the recommendation is, but then it's a matter of the logistics as well.
And you had mentioned this is maybe a different dose, but there's still 2 doses involved, 21 days apart.
That's my understanding, is that's what we're still looking at.
And it proving to be fairly effective, at least in the studies that they did.
I think the number I had seen was over 90% effective in that age group. So that's a really good response for us.
All right. So the other thing that's been in the news is these boosters, and who can get one, and the mixing and matching. Bring us up to speed on that.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that Pfizer and Moderna are both 6 months after your second dose, is when you're eligible. Additionally, right now it's 65 and over are eligible regardless of health condition. If you're 18 and over and you have a high risk for COVID due to your workspace or your living environment, you're eligible, as well as if you're 18 and over and you have specific health conditions. Johnson & Johnson is a little bit different. It's 2 months after the single dose that you're eligible. And that booster shot is anyone who's 18 and over should be going out and getting that. So I can tell you here, as far as our health department, we've not given very much Johnson & Johnson. The last time I think we really gave some was out at Colts camp. So that was the end of July, beginning of August. So those folks are coming due now. Anybody that saw us out at Colts camp, got Johnson & Johnson, would be eligible. The other thing is you are allowed to mix and match your doses. So if you got Moderna before and you want Pfizer, you're welcome to do that. Same thing with Moderna going the other way. Johnson & Johnson, you're eligible for one of the 3 vaccines is probably the easiest way to put it. I do think it's of note to do some research. We've seen that Johnson & Johnson and Moderna seems to have a very, very high level of effectiveness, more so compared to some of the other options. But again, any questions really should be directed to your primary care provider, or to call the health department and have that discussion about what's right for you. We're here to educate, and of course, your primary care is certainly there to help make sure that you are doing the best thing to take care of your health as well.
Now, we should be clear that if you are going to walk into the 4-H fairgrounds, however, we only have Pfizer.
We currently only have Pfizer. We are planning on rolling out Moderna, and we are planning on rolling out Johnson & Johnson. That probably will not be until next week at the earliest.
Okay. Halloween is coming up this weekend. Any thoughts for folks who are wanting to go out trick-or-treating or to holiday parties?
Yeah, well, so, we know outdoor air is the best air if we're going to congregate. So, we would certainly recommend, if you're in indoor spaces, wearing your mask. Obviously avoid limiting contact. It might be best to create some individual bags ahead of time so that they can kind of sit and That way kids can grab and go and there's not as much touching and cross-contaminating a product. But, ultimately you've got to do what you and your family are comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with trick or treating, no one's going to hold it against you at this point. So, just be safe and think about what's best for you and your family and do what you can to enjoy yourself.
It's also flu season. We're kind of in the throes of that right now. So, are we offering the flu vaccine? And your thoughts in the coming weeks as to how urgent it is to get a flu shot?
Yep. So we do have some flu vaccine available. Primarily, what we have are for those that are on Medicaid, Medicare, um, and some of the other programs like that. But there is some available for the public as well. We do highly recommend, of course, that folks go out and get their flu vaccine. It's one more tool to help keep you safe and well this winter season.
Super. Chris Walker, Emergency Health Coordinator with the Hamilton County Health Department. We'll check back in with you next week.
Thank you.